How's it going, everybody? It must be Wednesday because I'm sitting in a conference room staring at the phone or the computer, and I've got a camera on me. So happy Wednesday. Jeff Zahler, Zahler Properties, ZPLive, episode 46. We're flying through these things. It seems like it's always a time to figure out what we're going to talk about. So today's topic is going to be back to more of a buyer-seller thing. This is kind of more of a seller thing. It is a seller's market, as we know. People are receiving multiple offers on homes, so we figured it was a good time to talk about, as a seller, what do you do when you have multiple offers? There are a lot of ways around it, but realistically, there's just a couple things that everybody should think about as you're reviewing offers, and a couple tips. So first of all, congratulations, you're a seller, you have your house on the market, you have multiple offers. That's a great thing, right? Not a bad thing, especially in this market. Multiple offers probably means you're getting aggressively high offers. You're not getting lowball offers at that point, or if you are, those are easy to get rid of. But what do you do when you have, say, 10 offers on a home and 10 different agents, 10 different buyers, all who say they want the house, 10 different terms? Not everything's always the same, because as we always talk to our clients, price is not the only thing that matters, people, right? What you net is important, but at the same time, you want to make sure that the offer you select has the best chance to close escrow in a timely fashion. Timely is pretty important, right, Daphne? We're dealing with one right now that our clients got a great offer, and we are now 16, 17 days post when we were supposed to close. It's going to close this week, but they did get more money than their other offers, but they're struggling. They want that money and they want to move on it, and they don't want to start over, of course. So there are things to think about besides just money, and just decide what is coming back to you. So a couple things to consider. Obviously, we know in an era of cash will always be the potential strongest offer, but at the same time, especially if it's an investor, that cash offer, if things don't work out or if they don't like the inspection, they may just leave. So cash is always going to be king. It's less important in this type of market, but just remember, as you do look at a cash offer, they may not be as mentally committed to the property as somebody who's looking for a loan. So keep that thing in mind first and foremost. Second thing to look at is, we're seeing in this type of market here in Las Vegas that a lot of buyers are offering and agreeing to waive the appraisal contingency. We just ran into this with one of our buyers. We went considerably higher than asking price on a home that we already thought was on the higher end of price. We decided that my client decided that he would be willing to pay X amount over the appraised value if the home did come in low. When we wrote the offer, my eyes got big, because we were being very aggressive. We didn't even get a counter offer on that. Somebody went even higher and waived the full appraisal contingency. So that's a little scary, right? So basically, if that house appraises for $40,000 less than these buyers are offering, they're telling you on paper, in contract, that they would pay that difference. Now, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they try to make excuses to get out of the contract, or they'll just say, you know what, I put a deposit of $2,000 down, I'm just going to walk away from the deal. The seller has to start over. So everything looks really good. Look, I get it, right? When you're sitting here with 15 offers and you're mentally calculating how much money you're going to be making, and you're going to be making so much more than you thought, and you can pay off this debt, or you can take this trip. Just remember, the buyer, until they close escrow, can back away, and the biggest thing that you can go after them for is their earnest money. And we're talking about maybe a few $1,000s here or there. So if all of your eggs are in that basket, you can't ignore how strong that offer is, but also pay attention and put yourself in the other situation. Would you buy that home for $40,000 more than the bank is telling you it's worth? Would you try to find a way out of it if the appraisal got really ugly? So that's another tip. So as a seller, if you're reviewing offers, don't get blinded by the light, right? If it looks really nice and shiny, it still is, but there are ways out of contracts for the buyer and to protect the buyer, so you're not going to be guaranteed that money. The other thing is who the agent is. Is this buyer being represented by somebody who knows what they're doing? Is it an agent that may have not run a deal before? experience is always one of those weird things. We've all done our first deal here, but when it comes down to it, does this buyer's agent know how to handle situations? Do they know how to navigate through a potential tricky situation and a tricky contract, especially if the appraisal comes in low? So you as a seller need to hire the best agent for yourself that is going to protect your best interest, but you should also make sure that your agent, your listing agent, has a good, or at least an understanding of who that buyer's agent may be, because this could get sideways quickly, and guess what? That's when you want experience on both sides, not just negotiating for you, but handling the contract on the other side. So that's another point that we always want to make sure that, the offer is being presented by somebody who has at least a reputation of following through with what they do. We're running into that issue a little bit now too. Item number 3, again, when you're looking at these offers, I always say, and this should be your listing agent's job, and if it's not, maybe suggest to them, have all the offers, try to put all the offers in some kind of format, like a spreadsheet or something like that. That way you can see and kind of try to compare apples to apples on not just price, on not just close date, but the terms. Is it a cash offer? Is it an FHA with 3% down? Is it somebody who's putting 50% down? Who's asking for closing costs, who's not. That way you can take a look at everything and not just focus on the bottom line, but you can see how that offer is actually put together, because it's not just the bottom line, it's not just the price, it's every single step in there. Are they gonna do a home inspection? Are they asking you as a seller to pay for a home warranty? Having all that into a spreadsheet is something that will at least allow you to take those 10-page offers and kind of put them into a one-liner, if you want, on a spreadsheet. So that's important. We do that for every single one of our listings when we have multiple offers, and that way I can actually, if I'm in person, great. If I'm doing a video call, I can actually share that screen with our clients and email it to them in advance as well. But that way we can go through stuff if we need to plug numbers in and change numbers on the fly. That's what we like to do. That way our clients and sellers can understand really what they're looking at. And then the last point is kind of a funny one, and it's no joke. Sometimes you just got to get lucky, right? If you have 10 offers, some of them are going to look alike. There's not going to be anything that stands out that's great, because unless it's a crazy high cash offer that's going to close in 2 days or whatever, everything's going to have pros and cons. So sometimes, and we run into this too, our clients ask us for an opinion, or have we worked with this person or not? You're just going to have to get lucky. Because you have a lot of people that say they want to buy that house, but when push comes to shove, especially in this accelerated market, you need to kind of think about what happens if the pieces fall apart. And that's part of what you need to think about. Everybody's different. Every seller's different. You may say, Jeff, you're crazy. I want the absolute highest price I can get for the house. I don't care about anything else. And if that's the case, great. But my job is to say an offer is more than skin deep, right? An offer is more than just the price and just what it nets. It's how it's put together. So those are the tips for handling and reviewing multiple offers. Again, it's an exciting thing, right? This is not a bad thing. It's not a nerve-wracking thing. If you have so many offers and they're all coming in the same range, you may want to tell your agent, hey, let's cut showings off and let's cycle through these, because at this point, it's only going to convolute the situation more. We may have more offers to come in, but they're all going to look around the same. So those are our tips for multiple offers in a highly aggressive seller's market. If you have any questions or want to talk to us about how we strategize, or even show you kind of how we compare the things on a spreadsheet, love to talk to you about that. Give us a call, 702-758-4699. You can also email me at info@zahlerproperties.com. Send us a message here. Let us know you watch this, and let us know in your market, if you're not in this market, if you're seeing as an aggressive a seller's market. We'd love to hear about other markets too. So until next week, by the way, next week's going to be a special ZPLive. The team's going to be down in Orange County for the Tom Ferry Leadership Summit, or not the Leadership Summit, but the Success Summit. So we'll probably do something from Anaheim next week. My guess is kind of a mindset kind of thing again. So until next week, have a great week. Jeff Zahler, Zahler Properties, ZPLive, episode 46 is a wrap.